or the background for today is already set. And this topic is something which is very useful. This is because nowadays we are not using textbooks and printed journals, and we are using internet for our learning purposes and for all other needs. So we need to filter out facts, real facts from fiction, because lots of unwanted noises are there in the internet. And this ECNG is in the cloud. This is an online platform. So with this background, I'm going to the top. Now, the problem in this internet era is there is an explosion of medical information online. Unlike printed textbooks and journals, like we had in like 15, 20 years ago, where we all relied on textbooks and journals, printed journals, they are all well proofread and very meticulously published things. But in the internet, lot of unnecessary noises are there, and you can just see the graph per year. Number of indexed publications is around 1.2 lakhs. 1.2. Now it is reached up to 1.5 lakhs publications per year. So this is a huge information, huge articles in the internet, and how we can search and get the right one, that is always a challenge. And hopefully with this talk, I can guide you to get the best information, best knowledge from the internet. And another problem is we are seeing a proliferation of non-authentic content in the internet. This is because social media posts, blogs, and videos often lacking peer review. They are all there in the internet. Sometimes we search. These all comes first and click it, and we get misguided with these things. And more importantly, there are a lot of predatory journals. Predatory journals means these journals collect article processing charge from the authors. They may charge up to 50,000, 1 lakh rupees for an author to publish their article in their journal. They just work to get money. They are not owned by any societies. They are not for any scientific cause or any cause for the society. But just a money-making journal. And there is a proliferation of such predatory journals, because everyone is doing small and large and small and medium tier researches and publishing. They don't have enough journals, so these predatory journals are making a huge money. The problem is these journals don't have a correct peer review process. They publish any scrap that is given to them, and it is actually polluting the medical literature in the internet. And you can just see in the screen, European Society of Medicine. It is a website. Sounds very interesting. European Society of Medicine. And they have a journal, Medical Research Archives, and owned by European Society of Medicine. But let me tell you, this is a predatory society, and this is a predatory journal. And many of my non-friends fell in trap with this society and with their journal, paid 50,000 rupees, 75,000 rupees to get their article published. And every week, I get 1 or 2 mails from this society for asking for a manuscript to be submitted. And if you ask the article processing fee, it is around 65,000 rupees. And with these fancy names, international names, they attract articles. And there are a lot of criteria by which we can identify the predatory journals. Now there is a list. There are a list of predatory journals that's already available in the internet, because these journals lack peer review, charge high publication fees. The editorial board is entirely fake. There's non-existent individuals. They don't have a proper address. They are not properly indexed. Ethical standards not at all kept. Low quality of content, and their articles are not at all cited. And frequency of publications is very high, because they publish anything that is given to them, because they want money. And transparency policy is very not at all good. And just an NEGM, there's an editorial in January 2025. They're telling that there are nearly 15,000 predatory journals as of 2021, which you can get in the internet. So just researching and getting information from any of these articles in the predatory journal, it is going to harm your patients, because they are not original facts. They're very likely they all can be cooked facts, because good researchers won't publish their good articles in any predatory journal. And the second problem with the internet is search engine optimization and Google search. We all search in the Google. If you want to look anything, for example, rituximab for nephrotic syndrome. We search in the Google and we get the search results, and we click the first or second search results and we read it, and sometimes we may translate it into clinical practice. But the problem is the articles that is coming first or second or third in the Google search may not be the right articles. The low quality articles can come first, and high quality and more reliable, more authentic and proper scientific articles can go down in the list. This is because Google search engine works based on keywords. So if you give correct keywords to the website, it will come up. And backlinking. So suppose I publish an article and I copy the link and I paste it in multiple blog sites and other websites, and it is called backlinking. So articles with more backlinking comes first, and if the website engineers and designers if they make the website, this predatory journal website and all, more searchable for the Google, it will come first. And if the website is a faster loading and mobile friendly website, it all comes first. These all are important things that Google looks into for listing the search when we do it. So good quality articles may go down in the list and we'll miss it if you do a Google search. And so ideally, how do we have to search? I'll always tell everyone that we have to go to a PubMed site. PubMed is a good indexing, and only good journals get indexed in this PubMed, and in the PubMed there is a search bar. So we have to do this search in the search bar, and there is a particular way we have to do this search. For example, if I need to search need to know about the rituximab for childhood nephrotic syndrome from India, not from the other part of the world, from India, there is a particular way to do this search. We have to use the Boolean operators, 3 Boolean operators, and, or not. So I just wrote, if you can just focus into the screen, I have written something which is not that easy to understand in the bottom. So this is a Boolean operator and search terms, and I will just explain it. First of all, there is a mesh heading, that is medical subject heading. So for each heading title of an article, there is a mesh word. For example, myocardial infarction is a mesh word, but the authors may write in the heading like myocardial infarction, MI, or heart attack, but the article is linked with a mesh of myocardial infarction. That if we use the correct mesh term, whatever may be this another word with a similar meaning coming in the title, doesn't matter, we can get the correct answer. So here I want to know rituximab in childhood nephrotic syndrome in India. So the first term will be rituximab. In the bracket I will write mesh because it is a mesh heading. Or I will just write rituximab in bracket I will write title bar abstract. So if the rituximab word is coming in the title, or if the rituximab word is coming in the abstract, it will get that article. It is an or. And next is I want nephrotic syndrome. Again, nephrotic syndrome as a heading or in the abstract. And child in the heading or abstract. And I need randomized controlled trial because it is the best evidence we will get. And RCT. In the bracket, I will write it publication type. It need not appear in the heading or in the abstract. So every article is assigned a publication type. So publication type and steroid dependent or frequently relapsing. And the last, and India, in the bracket I will write affiliation, because if I write it as affiliation, only author's institution is affiliated in India, it will come. So it is a bit difficult, but you can use the AI, ChatGPT and all. They will prepare this search term for PubMed. And if you just paste it in the PubMed, you'll get the best result. And another problem with the internet is, I will just tell it with an example. I, Dr.Arun Thomas, developed a CKD reversal cocktail regime. This is a hypothetical situation. I initiated 10 studies on CKD reversal cocktail by sponsoring. 2 studies are positive, 8 studies are negative. But I'm sponsoring the trial. I push us to publish only these 2 positive studies. The 8 remaining negative trials I'm not at all publishing. Then what happened? Everyone got excited when they search in the internet because they find that there are only 2 studies and both 2 studies are positive. But these 2 positive studies are just because of chance. In reality, there are 8 negative trials. So it is a publication bias. Publication bias means only positive results are published and the negative ones are not published. So there is a skewness in the medical literature. Even if I am a genuine person, and even I try to publish my negative trials in the journal, the journal editors may not even accept. They don't like negative trials in the journal. They always prefer positive trials. They may reject the negative trials. So how it can be done, how it can be understood by creating a funnel plot. This funnel plot is something beyond the scope of this discussion, but just in all meta-analysis systematic reviews, you can see a funnel plot. So it is just understand that is the x-axis represents the effect size of the study and y-axis represents the precision, that is 1 divided by standard error. If the funnel plot is symmetrical, that means publication bias is not there, and then the below you can see it is asymmetrical, that is the publication bias is there. Now we have clinical trial registries. So it is very mandatory to register in clinical trial registry if I'm doing an intervention trial, and this is a comprehensive record. In India, we have CTRI, Clinical Trial Registry of India, and for WHO has got the International Clinical Trial Registry platform. So whatever that is registered in Indian registry will be automatically transferred to the international registry. So all trials, even if it is published or non-published, positive or negative, everything will be registered in the clinical trial registry. Suppose if I want to search for Dr.Arun Thomas cocktail for CKD reversal, if I look in the internet, I will only see 2 trials and both 2 trials are positive. But if you look at the clinical trial registry, I can find the details of the 10 trials. So that is how we can identify the publication bias. But if you don't recognize this publication bias as an entity, we may get misled and we will give a wrong treatment for our patients. And I also need to emphasize that we always have to respect the evidence pyramid. We all know, because case reports and cohort studies come down, RCT is in the top, and the apex of the pyramid is constituted by systematic review and meta-analysis. That means they take up the well-conducted RCTs or other studies and they analyze it and give a conclusion from the multiple studies in a systematic way. So if you do a Google search or a PubMed search, we have to give importance to systematic reviews and meta-analysis that is published recently, rather than looking into the individual RCTs and cohort studies. So always respect the evidence pyramid. And suppose or sometimes we don't get a systematic review and meta-analysis for all topics. Only some isolated articles are there. In that case, what we have to do, we have to look into the studies from the reputed journals. How can we identify the reputed journals? You can look at the impact factor of the journal. Impact factor is the number of times an article, one article in that journal is cited in the last 2 years. Average number of citations per article in the last 2 years. And finally, I need to just tell about AI in medical information. Now, even in the rounds or when I ask junior doctors or anyone some questions, what everyone does is they just search in the ChatGPT and tries to tell the answer. So I'll just give an example. I just typed in the ChatGPT 5 ways by which Avora bilimbi can protect the kidneys. I asked the ChatGPT, Avora bilimbi, Irumbambuli. This is something which is notorious to kidney. We all get afraid when some patient is regularly taking Avora bilimbi and bilimbi juice and all. And I asked ChatGPT, how can protect the kidneys? Now it is giving 5 mechanisms by which Avora bilimbi is protecting the kidney. Detailed explanation: antioxidant action, anti-inflammatory, anti-glycation properties, lipid lowering, and even asked and suggested to me I can create a diagram or a figure for to explain how it protects the kidney. So that is what ChatGPT is giving. ChatGPT is telling that Avora bilimbi is protecting your kidneys. And I asked the ChatGPT for reference for it, and it gave me 6 references. And if you look, all these references are not related to kidney protection. There are even references that it is a nephrotoxic, acute kidney injury and all. So it is not at all. This is totally a faked information ChatGPT gave. It is called hallucination. The hallucination refers to when it generates information that sounds plausible but is factually incorrect or entirely made up. This can include false data, non-existent references, or incorrect claims. It happens because model predicts words based on pattern, not verified knowledge. And I asked ChatGPT, how common is hallucination? ChatGPT tells me hallucination is prevalence of hallucination is 3 to 20%. So beware of the information you get from ChatGPT and other AI platforms. You need to know that AI platforms, they are just a large language model. They are not database. So AI is a tool. It should not be considered as a source, and you have to verify everything you get from AI. So a few tips to get better information from AI: give clear prompts, ask for references, ask them, please get PubMed index references and you verify them before translating it into a practice or any articles. Use deep search prompts, and you can have your own AI. You can subscribe for a platform, ChatGPT's platform, and you can train your platform with your own documents and nephrology guidelines for your personal use. That's a better way. So key message is select articles to read based on the evidence pyramid and impact factor of the journal. Always give importance to PubMed search based on the Boolean operators, not on a Google search. Publication bias is a reality, can mislead you. AI is a tool, not a source. Verify everything. Not all online medical contents are reliable. Use websites and providers that are trustworthy and you are familiar with. And we have an ECNG website which is about to be launched. So I got a snap from it, and we know who all are the speakers and everyone in the ECNG website. So it is a trustworthy source, because we know, rather than just searching in the internet and looking in the YouTube and just listening to some random videos. So this is something which we have to always use trustworthy things, and something which we all know. And I asked to add 2 slides on telemedicine and internet. And before 2020, before COVID, telemedicine was not under the legal framework. But with COVID now.